Okay. Okay, so the class tonight is how to sleep properly. And I've never given this class before. We've taught bunches of different classes, and this one I've never taught before, so you guys are the first class that's going to do this. So if you have questions at the end, I'll definitely open it up so you can ask questions. But one of the most common things that I get asked in the office is, how do you sleep properly? What's the best way to sleep? People come in and they'll get an adjustment and their back or neck feels better. They'll go home, they'll wake up the next morning and they'll feel like, man, did my adjustment go out while I was sleeping? And sometimes it can. So what I want to cover is some different things that can help you sleep better and answer the question, is there a best way to sleep? Yes, there is. Just like there's a best way to stand. There is a proper sleeping posture, just like there is a proper standing posture. Now, standing posture involves holding the head over the rest of the spine, shoulders back, back straight, and people used to say put a book on your head, hold the book on the head up above you, and that was good posture. Well, sleeping involves good posture too, but it's actually not like what you would think standing posture is. So we'll give you some examples. But in order to do that, you have to understand how the spine works. When you're developing in your mother's womb, your spine is a C shape. It just has one curve to it, the neck to the lower back. When you're looking at the spine from the front, it should be straight. But when you turn to the side, you'll notice there's a curve forward in the neck, there's a curve forward in the lower back, and then between the shoulders it kind of curves back that way. That curve between the shoulders is the original curve that you have when you're developing. So we have a baby developing here that has a C-shaped curve in their spine when you look at it from the side. Now, when the baby starts to, you lay the baby down and they start to lift their head up, so they're laying on their tummy and they lift their head up, it creates this curve in the neck. So when you look at the side of the spine, there's a curve in the neck that should curve forward. So the back of the neck is like this, and it should curve forward. When the baby starts to get up and walk is when this lower back curve develops. And it's the combination of those two curves that allow us to have proper balance and to avoid injury to our spine. If we walked around on our spine and it was straight all the time, it would pound on top of itself. By having curves in the spine, it kind of acts like a spring or a shock absorber. So when you're sleeping at night, what you want to do is you want to have those proper curves in the spine. So in order to have proper curves, let me go back to that C-shaped position, is commonly called the fetal position, the fetus. So it's a baby has a C-shaped curve to their spine. So we'll talk about the fetal position later. So in order to have good posture while you're sleeping, you need to make sure that you have the proper curves and avoid improper curves. So the proper curves are the head back to curve the neck, the back straight or even extending a little bit to keep the curve in the lower part of it, and basically the opposite of that C-shaped or fetal position. So what do most people do when they go to sleep at night? They curl up into a little ball, they pull their knees up to their chest, they tuck their chin under, and they grab their arms up in front, and they create that C-shaped curve to their spine, which is bad for it. So what you want to do is sleep either on your back or on your side. Now, if you're a stomach sleeper, the problem with that is not so much the curves, but the fact that you have to turn your head to one side to breathe, because you can't have your face in the mattress. So when you're laying on your stomach and you turn your head to the side and you stay there for 8 hours, that's not good. So that's why stomach sleeping is not good. Back sleeping is said to be the best way to sleep because it allows the spine to traction, but some people can't sleep on their back. In fact, very few of our patients tell us they can sleep on their back. So side sleeping is the other way that a lot of people will sleep. Now, if you're a side sleeper, did you have a question?
No.
If you have a question, go ahead and interrupt me, but just raise your hand and I'll acknowledge you. But if you want to afterwards, okay.
If you're back sleeping, I tend to do this, so.
Turn to one side, and that's not real good. So what you want to do if you're a back sleeper is your pillow really plays a part in that. You want a pillow that supports the neck and holds that head in extension, but also kind of cradles the side so you don't bend it to the side. If you've ever seen those pillows that have that cutaway in it, that's what that's for. The part underneath the neck is to hold the neck in extension, and then the two sides are to keep it from bending or turning to the side. So it's almost like a glove, like a baseball glove, holding your head in that position. So a pillow plays a part in sleeping posture. But to explain that, I want to kind of show you, if you are a side sleeper, you want a thick pillow that's going to hold your head in alignment this way. So you want a pillow that is thick enough that it's the distance from your shoulder, the outside of your shoulder, to your ear, so that it holds your head up. So those pillows I'm talking about that have the contoured thing to them, the thicker outside part is usually for side sleeping. So the middle cutaway part is for your head when you're on your back, and when you roll over on your side it's thicker, and that's for side sleeping. The biggest mistake people make with those contoured pillows is they'll drop their head down in that middle section when they're on their side, and that drops the head down, and then they curved it while they're sleeping at night. So you have that thicker pillow at night when you're sleeping on your side, and then tilt your head so you're looking up at the headboard, and that keeps that proper curve in the neck. If you're a back sleeper, look at the headboard. Keeps that curve in the neck there. If you're a back sleeper, you're probably actually better off not even using a pillow and just using something to support the neck. If you're a side sleeper, something thick enough to hold the head up. If it's too thick of a pillow, it'll push the head this way, and you'll wake up with a stiff neck. If it's too thin of a pillow, it'll drop this way and you'll wake up with a stiff neck. So you want something that's pretty evenly spaced to keep the head straight with the rest of the spine, and then bend it back to create that curve. The lower back, you can bend your knees, it's not a problem, but you want to try to keep that back in extension when you're side sleeping. Don't curl up into a little ball like that. If you have lower back problems, lower back issues, and disc issues, a lot of times it's from curling up into that fetal position in the lower back area. So pillows play a big part in proper posture, sleeping posture. So the size of the pillow. Mattresses also play a part. Now, another common question I get asked a lot is, what's the best mattress out there? There isn't a best mattress out there. We are all different. So because of our different body shapes and sizes, and because of our different sleeping patterns and postures, you really have to find a mattress that works good for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the different types of mattresses, tell you some advantages and disadvantages of each of the types of mattresses, and then you can apply that to how you sleep and try to figure out what's the best one for you. So let's see. The first one I picked was the Select Comfort. The Select Comfort is the air mattress, also called the Sleep Number bed. Nautilus makes one that's very similar to it. Walmart actually even makes one that's a cheaper version of it that's an air mattress. They're similar to the air mattresses you get when you got company over at Thanksgiving and you blow up an air mattress, except they're a little bit more fancy. They got padding on top of them. But the advantage to the Select Comfort is you can change the firmness of it to suit your needs. If you're a side sleeper and you want a little softer mattress to kind of cushion your side, but your wife or your husband is a back sleeper and they want a really firm mattress, it's kind of hard to find a mattress that suits the two of you. So a Select Comfort allows you to change that depending on your partner. The other thing with the Select Comfort is if you are having some back issues, especially lower back issues, and your doctor recommends to sleep on a firm mattress, you can firm it up till you're over that episode of back pain. Pregnancy. My wife, when she was pregnant, she dropped the number down on our bed to probably 20. It goes all the way up to 100, and she normally sleeps on about 40 to 50. I sleep on about 60 to 70. When she was pregnant, she dropped it all the way down to about 20, just so that it was more comfortable to lay with it softer while she was pregnant. So it's got some advantages in that. Select comfort disadvantages are air mattresses, the whole thing blows up. So it's kind of hard to support an individual area. It's kind of hard to support the lower back differently than it's supporting the neck, or allow it to be as soft as some other mattresses can be. The memory foam, also called a Tempur-Pedic mattress, you've probably seen those advertised, the NASA, the space one that they've figured out. The Tempur-Pedic foam was developed by NASA to put in the seat of the astronauts when they came back into orbit, into the Earth's orbit. It was a huge gravitational force, and it thrust them back into the seat. And they created this foam that would allow that to contour to them as they broke back into the Earth's atmosphere. Very few people jump into bed at the speed of, what, Mach 2 or 3, so that you really don't need that kind of a cushion for your bed. But they are very comfortable. They are very comfortable beds. They're very relaxing if you've ever laid in one. The thing I do not like about them is typically you throw your mattress out when it starts to conform to your body. And that's what that does. That's the whole idea behind that, is it conforms to your body. So if it holds its form, is that a good thing? It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to watch, but it's not necessarily the best thing for your spine. So there's some pros and cons with that. And also, because it's a foam, it can harbor germs. So all mattresses can harbor germs, by the way. They make slips that you can get to cover your mattress that will prevent germs and bed bugs and things from coming up and biting you, or they actually live off of our dead skin cells. And they make a cover, a hypoallergenic cover that you can purchase to slip over your mattress and your pillows. It's a very good thing. I recommend, especially for people with allergies, if you have allergy sufferers in the home.
Even the air mattress?
Pardon?
Sorry, excuse me.
That's okay.
Even the air mattress?
The air mattresses, the covering on top of it will,
Okay.
yeah, it'll get those things in
And it doesn't
there.
come off to be washed?
Some of them do. Some
Oh,
of
do
them
they?
do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I know our newer one does, but
Oh,
the
okay.
older one didn't. But we still have one of those covers on ours, just from an allergy standpoint. The coil spring mattresses, like Sealy, Simmons, Stearns & Foster, the traditional mattresses that you would buy. The advantage is they have excellent support. Simmons is probably the best mattress you can buy from the standpoint of support. Simmons has individual coils in their mattresses, so when you lay on your side, the coils under your shoulder push down, the coils under the side don't, and it really supports your spine. It pushes, that spring pushes up against your body when you're laying on it, so it's a very good mattress. The downside to coil mattresses, again, it's hard to find one that you and your partner like. They come in different firmnesses, so trying to find a firmness that you like, or softness. The springs can break, and they have about a 5-year life expectancy. So really, and you should flip them once a year to lay on the other side of the springs. So a little bit higher maintenance on those, but very good to support. The other kinds are still good too. They all have coils or springs in them, but everything except the Simmons connects them with another wire. So when you push down on it, all the springs go down at the same time. Whereas the Simmons has individual pocketed springs that can individually go down. So you could literally push one part of the mattress down and the whole rest of the mattress doesn't go with it. So, the foam rubber mattresses, and I'm going off of a different outline than you guys have there, so if I skipped something or I wrote something in there I didn't cover here, stop me and let me know. The foam rubber mattresses, not like the memory foam, but just traditional foam mattresses. Cheap, inexpensive. That's what you typically find in a baby crib or a less expensive mattress. kids' beds, a lot of times will just have a foam rubber mattress. Inexpensive, very soft. They'll actually use those in an egg crate format to put on top of mattresses in hospitals to prevent bed sores. Very good for that. Not a real good support in that they're usually pretty soft, so they don't provide the support that you need. They do break down over time. They don't last as long. Maybe a year would be a good one. If it lasted you a year, it'd be a good one. And again, they harbor germs pretty easily. Foam does, whether it's the memory foam or the regular foam. Futons. Futons, I went ahead and put this in here because a lot of people have futons as their bed. It's a convenient way to have a couch and a bed at the same time. Futons typically have a very thin cushion, if anything, and so they're usually not very thick, and it's more for the convenience of sleeping, so they're not really good for support. Couches and chairs, usually made of foam, and I haven't found a couch or a chair that is good at supporting any part of your spine if you're sleeping there. So, okay, in closing, there's a lot of factors you have to take into consideration when you're trying to sleep properly. Choosing a mattress, how you sleep on that mattress, and then pillows, and what type of pillow you use and how you use it. Oh, and then there's 5 strategies for better sleep. We included that in there. We came across an article that talked about different things you can do to sleep better. So there's 5 tips on helping you get a better night's sleep. The reason people want to try to find a good mattress is they want to sleep better. So we thought we'd go ahead and throw in some things from an article we found that give you some suggestions on getting proper sleep or helping you get good sleep and getting to sleep. And then the last thing I want to leave you with is, again, look at your headboard when you're sleeping. Whether it's on your back, you want to tilt your head this way to look at your headboard. If you're on your side, you want to curl your neck back and look at the headboard. It's hard to do. And you'll probably fall asleep in the right position, and then you'll toss and turn in the middle of the night and you won't end up there. That's okay. As long as you start to sleep there, eventually you'll get to the point where you'll stay there. Or if you do toss and turn, you'll wake up enough to go, tilt my head back, or bend my knees, extend my back, do something to kind of remind you the proper way to sleep. If you can apply these principles, you will not only will your adjustments hold better, you'll wake up feeling more refreshed, you'll sleep better, your spine will last you longer, and your spine will actually be healthier. The discs in between them are very healthy if you sleep properly. Questions?
You talk about stretches and exercises?
Stretches and exercises. Oh, stretches and exercises. There's a difference between stretching and exercising. So when somebody says stretches that are good for your back, or exercises that are good for your back. Stretches are meant to stretch a muscle and make it longer. So first thing in the morning when you get up is a good time to stretch. And you can talk to your doctor about specific stretches that would be good for you, but the first thing in the morning when you wake up and you get out of bed, those muscles have tightened and shortened and they haven't been used. And so the first thing in the morning is the best time to do stretching types of exercises. Stretches. I'm just going to say that, stretches. Exercises strengthen muscles. Exercises are meant to tighten muscles and tone muscles. So exercises are things you would do late in the day to tighten those muscles so that when you do sleep, everything stays in place. So if you were to do some exercises, some strengthening exercises, again, your doctor can give you some recommendations for those. They would be best to do before you go to sleep, and then stretches are the best thing to do first thing when you get up in the morning. And whatever your condition that you're dealing with, if it's a neck or a low back, those stretches and those exercises are going to vary depending on what your current condition is that you're trying to treat. But stretching the muscles keeps the spine mobile, and strengthening it helps it keep it in alignment. Questions? Other questions?
What about on your back, sleeping? You used to hear the prop your knees up or put a pillow underneath the backs of your legs.
And I've heard that before, but looking at your spine, that would actually be contradictory to sleeping on your back, because when you lift those up, you flatten that back. Exactly. Actually, the better thing to do would be to put something underneath your lower back, even if it was a thin pillow or a thin towel or something, just to kind of give it a little bit of extension. Think about it like a lumbar support in a chair or a car, something that keeps that back in extension. So.
What about on your side? I've also heard of a pillow between your knees if you lay on your side.
What that's really for, the pillow between the knees, is more to keep the ilium, the big bone on the side. When you lay on your side and your knees are together like this, it puts an extra force down on this. And if you wake up with that pain right in that lower back, sometimes putting the pillow between there, it just kind of widens those hips a little bit, so there's not extra stress and strain on it. When you walk through the day, it's the equivalent of having a pillow between there. So again, posture like you're standing versus posture when you're sleeping. When you lay down and they come together, you got an extra stress or strain on the outsides of those hips. So yes, it's very beneficial for having something there as your side sleeping. It's not necessary, but it's beneficial.
That would be the same as a sleep study. That long.
Like the big long tube that you can grab a hold of and stuff. Those are really good, because it not only does it for your knees, but it does it for your shoulders too, so that you've got something there where your shoulders are actually spread apart in the back there. Yeah. Yes? Do you have a question? Or?
I think I forgot it.
Oh.
I got to listen to dirt, I forgot it. That's okay?
So you really like the air mattress type. I guess I've always kind of shied away from them. I always thought that they probably would be a lot cooler.
As far as temperature-wise?
Yeah, temperature-wise, you know how sleeping on something, you know, if you sleep on a rubber mattress or something, you're going to sweat, it doesn't breathe as well, and I didn't know as far as the breathing and...
The air mattresses that I'm talking to are like the Select Comfort ones,
Right.
have so much padding on top of it.
On top of that air.
It's even more than a pillow top. We just upgraded from, we had one that we purchased 12 years ago, and it had a pillow top on top of it, but underneath the pillow top was the egg crate foam, so there was a good 3 or 4 inches before you hit that mattress, that air part. And then it was coated in some kind of a fabric, so it's not even like a plastic. It was like a plastic that was lined with cloth on top of it. The new one we just upgraded 2 years ago or a year ago, and I swear there's a mattress worth of foam on top of it. You can't get regular sheets for it. It's
Gotta be the deep fitted.
yeah, it's huge. And the air part of it is underneath, and then the top part of it is it's memory foam and traditional foam, and you can flip it depending on your preference. If you like the memory foam and your wife wants the other, she can flip hers to be the other foam, and I can have the memory foam. And so it's
So it's actually 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that really gets into you get the benefits of the foam or the memory foam, but you also have that support in that you can increase it or decrease that tension or firmness level of it. I mean, there's a limit to how far you can increase it to, but even if you had it at 100%, it was all the way up to the top, it would be extremely firm, even with a foam mattress on top of it.
If it's that thick though, what's the benefit of the air for this?
To select that, to change that.
I know that, I understand that, but if you're putting all that foam on top of a firm mattress, you're gonna get a soft firm.
Yeah, which is what I like. It gives you that cushioning to be able to, because you want your body to go into the mattress a little bit. Now, if you're sleeping on your back, it really, that foam is so thick, you're not heavy enough for it to sink into it,
yeah,
right?
that's what I
But
was
if you're
thinking.
sleeping on your side, it's enough of a cushion that you're going to push it down into it, and then that air mattress is going to push up against it. Yeah, it's you really have to, you'd have to lay on one with the air out and lay on it with the air in to really see the difference. You'd be amazed at what you can feel with it being out versus the air being in it. So, But it's, that's, yeah, that, I like them. I like them more for the selectability. You can be different than your spouse. That's more so than support. More so than support. The best supporting one has got to be that Simmons. So, but that's why I say there's not a perfect mattress out there. There's pros and cons to it. Yes.
That's all my question.
Okay.
Okay, if you're laying on your side,
Mhm.
how far, I mean, can you bend your legs so that it's even with your hip? Is that too high? Like you were bending?
To 90 degrees. It's going to be hard to keep it in extension. You can, yeah. You just want to make sure you
Normally,
keep
the way I
that.
sleep.
Yeah, if you keep it up here, you just want to make sure you're keeping that back in extension. What you bend at the waist at two places: the
Yeah.
hip and the lumbar spine. So you want to make sure your lumbar spine is in extension, even if your hip isn't.
Okay, then I got another question. In Walmart, they have the memory foam. It's about the one I looked at was like 1.5 inches, I
Right.
think. And then on the bottom, it was egg crate.
Mm-hmm.
Would one of those be beneficial on the bed?
To put that on top of an existing mattress, it would
Yes.
kind of work like the Select Comfort, in what I was saying with mine, that what you have with that is it provides a little bit of a cushiony softness that still gives you some support. A pillow top is usually fiber. It's like pillows,
Yeah.
and those will wear down. After 3 months, pillow tops
Well,
are...
it's just a plain mattress.
Yeah, if it's a plain mattress and you put that on top of it, would be wonderful in my
And they have
opinion.
a 4-inch. Now, you're talking like about $100 for the 4-inch one.
Yeah, and in the hospitals, I think they pretty much stick with the thinner one.
Yeah, that's
There-
what I was wondering.
There's only so far that it's going to squish down before you're not going to have
I've looked
that.
at both of those, and I've had the questions, but I didn't have any answers.
Yeah, yeah. I would say for you, your frame, your body size, I'd probably go with the thinner
Okay,
one. Yeah.
thanks.
When changing out the mattress, change out the box springs at the same time.
You know, thank you, Joe. See ya. If you don't have to do that, to me, I don't understand a lot about the box springs versus being just on a lot of people will stick a board between the two. And to me, that far down,
I can see wear on the mattress or feel the indentation. The box springs, I can't tell that it's ever
no,
been
no,
used.
yeah. Our Select Comfort actually comes on it's a frame, but you wouldn't have to put it on that. I mean, it's a box frame, and it doesn't have any springs or anything in it. So I think that's probably held over from a long time ago when the springs weren't really good and they needed something to kind of give it a little extra support. Yeah, so it's probably firmer springs underneath, and then the softer springs on the top.
Well, you go back far enough, you got the Copac mattresses, which is just cotton stuffed together, which they're probably about that thick. That's what I was raised on. Then you've got
And then a
your
spring
springs
underneath it. Right.
Then you got a little bounce to it. Otherwise,
Right.
you'd just be like sleeping on a really hard pillow. 'Cause
Right.
those were hard.
Right, and so
Real
then,
hard mattresses.
right, and what they've done over time is those springs have basically gone to coils,
Yeah.
lighter springs in the actual mattress.
Combine the two
And,
of them.
right, and the box spring is useless anymore.
Outdated.
Yeah,
What I had heard, or what my mother had said, was when the springs start getting bad, that's when they put the board in there.
to kind of give it a
the
little extra
support
cushion.
back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they do go bad. We were looking at the Simmons when we were buying the Select Comfort, and the thing that they were trying to sell us on was the fact that when the coils broke, that they would cover them. And I'm thinking, that's not a selling point if you're telling me you're expecting them to break.
Yeah, really.
When they break or when they puncture through the top of the mattress, and I'm going, oh.
Is that while I'm on then?
Yeah, exactly.
Ouch.
You want a pillow top with that
Yeah.
mattress.
Definitely need an adjustment after
You
that.
said-
Yeah.
You said your Select Comfort was about 12 years old when you upgraded.
My-
Did you have to, or was it just you
We-
wanted to?
We wanted to. We had a queen size because of our bed,
Mhm.
and we had a 3-year-old, and she likes to sleep in our bed. And a
King
three-year-old who kicks.
size.
Yeah, exactly. So we went to a king size, and when we went to the king size, we actually went to find the same mattress. We liked it, and we wanted to get the same one, and we went there, and they said, well, we don't make that one anymore. We've made changes, we've made improvements, we've done this research and done this, and here's the 3 you can pick from now. And they had upgraded them to these different ones.
Because that's
So-
what I've been thinking of and looking at
Yes.
for quite a
Yeah.
while, so.
And I may have exaggerated on that foam, the amount of
Oh,
foam
no,
that's in
okay,
there,
yeah.
but it's, if you can go in the mall, in the Select Comfort store, and just lay on it and just
Yeah.
experience it and
I've
see.
not laid on one yet.
Yeah.
I have laid on that Tempur-Pedic. Friends of mine have
Mhm,
one of
mhm,
those,
mhm.
and it's quite comfortable.
Yeah, yeah,
But it was fairly new.
yeah,
It was like
Yeah.
3-4 weeks old.
yeah.
So,
It's a foam mattress.
yeah.
I mean, don't be fooled by the fact that it's contours
But
and
supposedly it's guaranteed for 15 years though. So-
having its elasticity or something.
I
Or
don't know what
having
it's
its ability to
guaranteed, yes, I really
contour.
don't.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
either.
'cause I
Select
think
Comforts
it's
have a 20.
20, is it?
20 year, yep. Yep. And we never have had to send anything in on the ones that we had before. My brother-in-law had one, and they had to send things in on theirs to get it fixed.
Oh, we have
And
friends in Washington that had, their pump went out.
yeah,
Right
yeah,
after they, not too
Yep.
long after they got it.
yeah.
But, you know,
Or
that's,
you puncture a hole in the
The
tube,
bladder.
or yeah, or
Yeah.
whatever. And yeah, there's things that happen,
yeah,
and so and they replaced it, no problem, no questions. It was
had to wait for it.
yeah.
Had to wait for it.
They also have, which I wish you could do this with traditional mattresses, but they'll also do a 30-day.
Yeah,
You
money
can
back.
try it, right? You
Yeah.
try it for 30 days, and you don't like it, then ship
Yeah.
it back to them, and
Yeah, because just laying on them in the store,
yeah,
You don't get a tell.
No,
I mean,
you
no,
really can't.
no.
Gamble.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It'll feel good in the store, and you get it back at the house, and you're like, what was I thinking?
And once you bought it, you feel obligated to keep it 15 years.
At least,
Yeah.
especially it's like Comfort in
That's
there,
right.
my area.
Now,
expensive.
they are expensive, but let me say something about that. Because I would be the first one to say, you know, let's not go overboard on, you know, spend too much. You will spend a third of your life in bed.
Right,
You will spend a 25th of your life in one of your cars. And look at how much you spend on a car versus how much you spend. You'll change and buy a new car every 4 years or every 6 years, and I know people that do it every year. They'll upgrade to the latest one, trade in their old and get the newest one. And mattresses don't cost. A nice, expensive Select Comfort mattress is a tenth of the price of a
yeah.
nice
that's
car.
not normal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so they are real inexpensive when you start putting it into perspective of other things. We have some friends that bought a big screen TV, and they paid $2,500 for their big screen TV, and they went to go buy a mattress, and he was balking at paying $800 for a mattress. And
Yeah,
I said, his priorities are mixed up there. If you,
yeah,
it's $2,500 for a TV entertainment center and $800 for a mattress, he's going to spend a third of his life in. And so.
Sounds like you just needed a good theater seat to sleep.
That's right, yeah, maybe.
yeah.
I should have recommended that to him.
Ah,
You're quicker witted than I am. I didn't think about that.
My sister has fibromyalgia, and she
Yes.
ordered one of those beds, and it hurt her something
The
fierce.
fibromyalgia with the Select Comfort, it
Yeah.
probably would. Again, what I said is it kind of pushes against you. I mean, you think about if you push down on if you filled up an air mattress like in your living room for your family to sleep on, and you push down on one end, the other end comes up. I mean, it's not, you know, with a coil mattress, you push down on it, it goes down. You lift up, it bounces back against you. An air mattress is not that way. So that's where the foam acts kind of like the buffer, right, to kind of give you that cushion, and the air is really more for just support to kind of hold it up. So an air mattress that you get to sleep on for the weekend at Thanksgiving is not anything like, now if you put a foam topper on top of it, that'd be pretty similar. In fact, we bought for our guests when they come over, we don't have a hide bed, and so if we need to, we have an air mattress that's up on stilts, so it sits up higher. and it's a regular air mattress type thing, and it's got a 2-inch memory foam thing on top of it, and it sleeps really good. It really does sleep comfortable. So again, but a fibromyalgia where they're tender, they have tender spots, it probably would
She tried
not feel
all
good.
adjusting all kinds of stuff and that.
She would probably be better off with a foam mattress, whether it's a memory foam or a regular foam mattress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their 30-day guarantee thing unfortunately includes the shipping time that.
Oh
Oh,
no!
it does?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks to get it.
Oh,
And then you sleep on it and figure out if you like it or not and send it back in that time.
Oh,
No,
gracious.
So that's kind of a rip right there. She had a hassle with that, but I don't know what she ended up with
Yeah.
after.
I didn't have any problem selling my old one. It went same day I put an ad out, so.
And like you said, they've improved
I
on
never
it and stuff like
thought
that, and
to
that's
sell
probably
it.
been 4 or 5
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah. With a 20-year warranty,
I never thought to, yeah.
you can sell the old one. So, any other questions? Don't hesitate to ask me or your doctor questions if you have any questions. If you think of something later, you want to ask me later, that's fine too. So, was it educational,
Mhm.
informational?
Yes.
Very good.
All the above.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yes?
One question I have now, how do you keep yourself in that, you're supposed to sleep